Rob Cummins reporting for duty. How are you today? Welcome to the power of focus. What is focus? Focus is when you direct all your concentration, all your energy, all your awareness on something. Whatever it is, if it's a camera, it's zoom in and get the finest detail that you possibly can. That's I just sort of made that up because I didn't really Google it up and check and find out what it is, and I need to know what it actually is. And why do we need focus? When it comes to photography, I don't know anything at all about that, but if we want to get somewhere in life, we have to know, we've got to know our outcome. That is one of the most important things with focus. If you don't know your outcome, you don't know where to focus. And then it becomes a quest for what is the most important thing. Where will I get the best return for my investment, whether that's time, money or whatever? Where am I going to get the best, sorry about the shake, where am I going to get the best return on my investment? So what am I going to focus on? If we don't know why we want something, we don't know where to focus on it. If we don't know what our outcome is, we have not got any idea. So we have to get clear in our head. What is it that's important to us? What is it that we most want to do now? What do we want out of life? What do we want to focus our time on? Where do we want to spend all our time, money and energy? What's most important to us now? And then we've got to know why it's important to us. What will that give us? Just say, for instance, if I wanted to lose weight, say, well, over Christmas, in the lead up to Christmas, I started Christmas too early, and I did a bit of binge eating. I most definitely did. Scored myself some nice chocolates and got into it. So now I actually am a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm overweight. My clothes are not fitting me. I'm not feeling healthy. I'm not exercising the way I did. Exercising is not as much fun for me now as it used to. I just don't feel so good about it. I don't feel that good in myself for sort of just letting myself go. So why do I want to do it? Because I want the best quality of life that I can have. Time's are ticking, and I want to have as much fun as I possibly can while I'm here on earth. I want good quality of life. While I'm here, I want to be enjoying it. So, and it's not just that, but the healthier I can get, the more things that I can do to make myself healthy, the better chance I am giving myself to have longevity. I think I'm going to live to be 100, maybe not, but that's what I'm aiming for, because I want to be able to spend as much quality time with my kids, which I don't see that often these days. That's very, very important to me. My family is very important to me. So that's my big why for taking care of myself. So whatever area of life it is for you that you want to work on, be it your finances, you might want to work on your business, want to do more marketing so you can get your message across, so you can sell your products. What is it for you? Maybe it's you want to have that relationship, the relationship with the woman of your dreams who you haven't met yet. So what are you going to do? Why is that important to you? Because you're lonely. You want somebody to share your life with. You've worked so hard, like your business is going off the charts. And you want to share that with someone. There's more to life than just working, and you know that. That's what you're feeling. So you want to have that relationship, so you have got this companion that you can do things with. You can live your life together, heading in the same directions with the same goals. Your kids are grown up, but now you have You know, you might have a business together, you might have a house together, whatever it is, maybe it's a pet that, you know, is something that you are both heavily focused on, that means so much to you. You know, maybe that dog is everything for both of you. And that is what you're working for. Maybe it's a house renovation. Who knows? Whatever it is for you, just work that out and say, and then work out, why is that important to me? Well, like I said, you were lonely, so I won't be lonely anymore. I'll have someone to enjoy life with. We'll be able to go travelling, doing stuff like that. Like, I've made heaps of money, but I'm sick of playing golf with the boys all the time. That's great, but, you know, that's a great getaway, but I just miss that love and connection. And if I had that, I would just feel so good. And I think it's worth. I want that so badly that I will do whatever it takes. I'll get as fit as I can. I will be as the gentleman that I am, and I will go out there and connect. I will meet people, and even if I don't meet that woman of my dreams, I am going to meet some great people, and my life's going to be so much better because now I've got new friends. I've got my circle of influence has expanded, and yeah, we're not going to have any more kids, obviously, because we're past that. But we don't need them. We've got our own separate kids out there, and we can all come together and have a great time together. So that is what I'm going to focus on. And how are you situated in your life? What is it? Then when you work out what it is and why you want it, how are you going to go about getting it? Where are you going to go out, say, to meet this woman of your dreams? As I said, you've been out golfing, playing golf and fishing with the boys and weekends away with the boys. And the boys are good, but, you know, well, you and I both know, you can do something with a woman that you can't do with a man. And that might be a whole lot of fun. So I better sharpen up my game. I better work on myself. Look good, feel good, be fun, be myself. Somebody that I can be myself with, that loves me for who I am. And so I can accept that person for who they are. And then we can, when we get everything aligned, like our values and our goals, obviously we've got to have our own time apart and stuff like that, doing our hobbies, whatever. And we do need that time with the boys, and we do need that time with the girls, and we do need that time with the kids. But a special quality time for me and the woman of my dreams, or you and the man of your dreams, whatever it is for you. And when you have that, what will you be hearing? What will you be feeling? What will you be saying to yourself? What will other people be saying about you? They might be saying, check Rob out. He's got a new lease of life. Somebody actually said that to me the other day. She said, you've got a spring in your step. Do you know what? I wasn't aware that I had a spring in my step. But that's not a bad... a spring in your step is a good thing. What I'm working on mainly is being myself, forgiving myself, loving myself, who I am, accepting who I am, loving myself where I'm at, with all my flaws and idiosyncrasies, the good, the bad, the dark, the light, the weak, the strong. It's just a journey back to me. So when you can work out and feel what you're feeling, you can just go out to sometime in the future when you are out with that woman or that man, or whatever it is for you, and you're having time, you're meeting interesting people, you're meeting her friends, she's meeting your friends, and you've just got a whole lot more options. And that thing that I said you can do with a woman that you can't do with a man, look, if it's a man's your thing, well, you go right ahead. Absolutely. Whatever it is for you, you know, if you have gotten clarity, if you have absolutely shone the light on what it is you want to live your life, to make you happy, to make you feel fulfilled, and really nobody else can make you feel fulfilled, but you need to do all these other things so you feel fulfilled. And it's a two-way street. We all know that a relationship is a two-way street. So, focus. And this content I'm delivering comes from myself, NLP, a program that I'm a part of called Your Success. It was written by Sharon Pearson, the founder and CEO of the Coaching Institute in Melbourne. Has connections with people like Brian Tracy, who's a world authority on goal setting and business culture. Joe Parnay, he's the head trainer down at the Coaching Institute, and he's an expert in human behaviour. John Assaraf, you may well have heard of from The Secret, and his company is Neurogym, I think. You know, everybody goes to the physical gym, but he's got a neurogym, and that is what we're finding out these days is that is just crucial. That is where the internal game, that's what we've got to work on. What we've got on the outside, most people can see by just looking at us and the way we act, where we are in life, you know, like how we think of ourselves. And anyway, look, I'm back, got to get back. The other person there, another big influence in there is Dr. John Demartini. Pardon me. He's an international authority on values. And and they are all absolutely phenomenal people in the industry. But let's dive in. At the end of this workshop, I'm going to offer something that is relevant to this content. So, I just say that you are here with an empty cup and a willingness to learn. And what I want you to do is just go out 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Because some of you are only very young. Go out there 30 years and where are you going to be if you don't actually develop this focus? How will you feel? What will you be saying to yourself? What could you be saying to yourself? Where could you be if you actually build this focus and work on it, and just zoom in on your life? How will you feel, and what will you be saying to yourself? Like in 30 years, if you do that now, if you go through that, if you jump through these hoops now, if you do that, set the foundations for your life if you were that young. But it doesn't matter how young you are, like, hey, I'm 67, or is that my IQ? Doesn't matter. I'm definitely learning how to focus because I spent so much of my life out of focus. I didn't know what was going on. So, look, if you've got any questions, please fire them at me. Drop them in the comment box. But what I want you to do now is just to check out so we're going to see just how focus works. This is an exercise where what you focus on is what you get, to the exclusion of everything else. So, I want you to look around the room for everything that's brown. Look around the room. Everything that's brown. Brown, looking for everything that's brown. Now, I want you to close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, I want you to tell me everything that you saw that was red. No peeking. Keep your eyes closed. Tell me everything that's red. How many things did you see that are red? Was it 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, I looked around my room and I know what was coming. I did not see one red thing because I wasn't looking for it. I saw brown things. I saw a billiard table with 8 brown legs, chairs with all brown arms. I didn't see one red thing, and I still haven't, except for the record thing on my camera, but I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for brown, and that's exactly what you saw too, I think. And what does that tell us? That means, well, I'll tell you what to do. You have a look around your room now and see how many red things that you can see now that you're looking for them. Is it 1, 2, 3, 5? Depends what sort of a room you're in, how many red things you see. But when you compare what you see now, when you're looking for red, as compared to what you saw when you were looking for brown, check it out. You saw a lot of brown things. You saw bugger all red. So what does that do? Tell us? That tells us, seek and you shall find. What we focus on expands. What we focus on, we get to the exclusion of everything else. And as somebody once said, you can't think about what you don't want to think about without thinking about it. Think about that. And that's it. You were not thinking about red. You were thinking about brown. Next thing I want to talk about is the reticular activation system, the RAS. Have you heard about the RAS? What we're talking about here is a hook, at the hook-shaped object at the base of our brain. And that is where it's like a Google search engine. Whatever we punch, it's like a Google search engine. Whatever you punch into that search engine, it goes looking for it, and in no time, up it comes with how many options of all the examples of whatever you punched into that Google search engine. And shall I say, just for an example, maybe you're a woman and you might have thought about having a baby one day. You got married and you're going to have a baby one day, but you don't go around thinking about babies all the time because you're young and you're still out there having fun. Anyway, one thing leads to another and voila, next thing, there you are, pregnant. You're pregnant. And now, everywhere you look, you see pregnant ladies, you see prams, you see dummies, you see cots. I'm trying to think of all baby stuff. But that's what you see. You see pregnant women, you see mothers groups. And when you have that baby, what you do is before you have that baby, you go around and you set yourself up a nursery. Get all that gear in there because there's someone new coming into your life and they're going to be about this big and weigh about 2 or 3 kilos. And so it's such a special time. And so your brain, if you walk into, say, Settlement City here, say in Port Macquarie, a shopping centre, what are you going to notice? You're going to notice all the baby stuff and all the mothers and all the kids that are there, being good or being bad, playing, being silly. That's what you're going to see. And my example was for me, I pranged my truck. I used to have a truck. I pranged it. And so now I had to go and buy a new car. I had a van before that. Anyway, so I wanted a new car. And cars are not big on my radar, They're just not. And anyway, so I found this car, a little car. I thought I'm getting on, I need to scale down. I'll get this little car here. Mate was selling it. And I'd never even heard of it before. An Astra. And after I bought that car, I was driving around and all I was seeing was Astras. They were absolutely everywhere. That may be an exaggeration, but that's what it felt like to me because now I was aware and it was all new to me and I was seeing this everywhere. So the RAS goes looking for evidence for whatever it is that you want so you can direct your focus. As getting back to the motherly one again, you see books, you see courses, people, experiences, mothers groups, people that can help you with your journey. So, the Google search engine is very handy. And cause and effect, that's the next thing we're going to talk about, cause and effect. Above the line thinking or below the line. If you're above the line, you are a victor. You take responsibility. You've got results. You're an achiever. You're a mover and a shaker, and you make stuff happen. That's right. And because you're doing that, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. And why wouldn't you be? Because you're making progress. And the opposite to that is below the line. It's no fun down there below the line, and we all go there. We all go there. But below the line, you are at effect. You've got excuses. You haven't got results. You've got excuses, and you've got reasons why you haven't got results. And it's always somebody else's fault. We blame external forces for our failure. Not my fault. No, I'm an excuse maker. I'm not a mover and shaker. I'm an excuse maker, and I'm like, that's what it's like. So we know where we want to be. We want to be taking responsibility. So how do we shift our focus? What we focus on, we get. As I said before, what we focus on, we get, to the exclusion of everything else. So we get weeds. We've got weeds in our garden. By that I mean, some area of your life is not working well. I've had heaps of areas. It's a work in progress. We've all got this stuff going on. And it's like a garden. If we don't weed it, if we don't take out that bad stuff and plant seeds and nurture those seeds over time, and it takes time. Because if we, just say for instance, if you want to grow flowers, well, I'm going to say a tomato because this was my example just recently. My son's, he's doing this gardening, and he planted seeds for tomatoes, and up they came and they sprang up. But you know what? He had to weed it, he had to fertilise it, he had to get the best soil that he could, he had to mulch it and nurture it and water it every day, sometimes twice a day when they get up a little bit. And keep on weeding it. And you know how long that takes? It takes like 2 to 3 months. So, 10 weeks. Is that right? Yes. 10 weeks of weeding and nurturing and doing that every day before you get fruit. So for you to want to be focusing on what you want to kick all that status quo to the curb, all those bad habits, those bad rituals, and bring in new functional rituals that will support you and take you to where you want to be. To do that takes time, and it takes time and experience, and those reps, like they say, reps, like down in the gym. You've got to do that or you don't get there. So you don't get anywhere without action. As we all know, it takes time to learn that. Exactly, it does. Another great way to shift our focus, to direct our focus, and this is a great tip, to direct our focus, is to set your intention, the power of intention. And you make that intention, it's like, as I said before, it's a different way of saying know your outcome. And you can do this every morning when you wake up. When you wake up, you might do a bit of journaling, you might do a bit of meditating, you might listen to some visualization. You might do that. You might, as I said, journal. Do whatever it is to get you feeling good for the day. Plan your day, write down what you're going to do, where you want to go. But to set an intention, like for me coming to make this video tonight, I wanted to be energetic because I noticed, some videos that I've been making lately, they've been very, very lacklustre. And so I need to keep the energy up. Well, now, maybe I have and maybe I haven't, but I set my intention for that. I wanted to give value, I wanted to give it my best shot, I wanted to focus, and I wanted to be strong and powerful. and project my voice. I've been told I've got a weak voice, so it's something to be aware of. And when I'm aware of it, then we can adjust these things like the knobs on a TV. If we need more volume, turn it up. If we need the picture brighter, just make it brighter. Whatever it is we need. But I'm sure dull and boring, well, hey, you'll be flicking off and gone long ago. So write your intention down. So I wanted to have energy. So the best thing to do is, your word for the day, or before you get on to making a video, whatever it is for you, before you go to a meeting, energy. I'm going to bring energy. So you write yourself a power question. How many ways can I continue, this is a framework, can I continue to, I've even forgotten, to have even more energy than ever as I go about my day, as I go to this meeting, wherever it is, and ask yourself that question, how can I have even more energy in everything I do today? And then you answer that question. Maybe you can, and with those answers, you might have 3 answers, 5 or 7, and then that is your action plan for the day. That is the actions you are going to take so you can fulfil your intention. And because you are setting this up, going back to the RAS, the reticular activating system, because of that situation, what you are doing here, it keeps on regurgitating, that's not quite the right word, but you keep on going back to that, you keep on going back and focusing on that because you have put so much work into it. And it's again repetition. So if you go and do that for 30 days, that is how you build a ritual. And when you set your intention, you know your outcome, but you've also set yourself a system that all you've got to do is follow that, and voila. And so you can carry that around with you for 30 days. You can text it to yourself, which I do, email it to yourself or to someone else that you want to be accountable to. And every time you pull it out, read it, feel it, connect with it, visualise it happening. So, and just notice how much more your focus increases, and your results expand, your progress just goes up, just exponentially, and that's what we're looking for. And with focus also, another thing is to direct your focus is, like if we make a mistake, and who doesn't, and we have to rectify that. Just say it was a bad mistake, might have lost a lot of money, might have lost your house, might have lost a relationship, and it fell apart, your life went to shit. It was great, but, and this has happened to me actually, I got complacent, thinking it was always going to be like that, but not actually the old saying again, you're either green and growing or ripe and rotten or rotting. And if you don't protect, nurture, guard and grow everything in your life, you're going to lose it for sure. So, but what happens? When we do make those mistakes, when the disasters, when we're in the middle of the worst thing that's ever happened to us, all because we took our eyes off the ball and we stopped focusing on what was most important to us. And then what we've got to do is we focus on the problem and we focus on the past, what went wrong and stuff like that. But after we work out what we did wrong, we become aware of it and we own our responsibility. We take responsibility for our part in it, and then what we've got to do then is let it go and move on. Flush and don't look back. Because the more time, I think Tony Robbins says, we need to focus 5% on the disaster, on the mistake, on the missed opportunities, and the anger and sadness and broken heart and all that loss that we have felt, and the guilt that comes up after that, and the criticism and envy and jealousy, and we've got evidence and justification that we're hanging on to. That is what we've got to let go of. Let go of that. So we're still aware, we do focus on that, but we've got to spend 95% of our focus on the future, on solutions, options, opportunities, possibilities of what we can do, where we can go. And just notice, and look, I know by the time I went through the problem part in the past with all those negative stuff, when I got to the future, I noticed my energy picked up just by actually saying those words, and I was focusing on that. So I think that's a great lesson right there. 5% on the problem, 95% on the solution. Options, choices, possibilities, where you're going and how you're getting out of there. So I just want you to go out to the end of your life right now. And what are you noticing? Are you proud of what you achieved? And if you didn't learn how to focus, you may not be proud of what you achieved, because you know that you could have achieved way, way more. But go out there. Did you live fully at 100%? Did you love fully? Did you matter? Are you proud? Or are you regretting the things that you didn't do, the chances you didn't take, the risks you didn't take, the love that you didn't make? And if that's the case, you're angry, disappointed, you're feeling a failure, and you are like a waste of space in your own mind. But what we've got to do is rain tumbling down, which is fantastic. It's a good idea to write your own eulogy as how you want it to be. Write a eulogy that makes you proud of who you are and the life that you live. It's your blueprint. Do it. Print it out. Display it everywhere around the house. And ritualise it. As I say, put it in an obvious place and make it a ritual for you every day. Display it everywhere you can. Visualise it. Take action and die happy. Die happy and pleased with the life you made and the love that you made and the love that you gave and shared. That's right. How do you feel? Write that eulogy. Do that for yourself. It's a great thing. Yeah, so as I said, with everything we've got to start with why. Why do we want it? The thing about it, I'm going to say now is, like, if we've got a good reason for doing stuff, then we're going to pursue it. We're going to stay on task. When the going gets tough, we're not going to fall over. We might fall down, but we will get up again and we will go. We will say, yes, I'm here for the long haul. I promised myself this. I declared I was going to be the man that I want to see, be the change that I want to see. So, turbulence. We all make mistakes. We all get off track. Like a plane flying to Sydney or wherever you want to say, doesn't just leave, say, Coffs Harbour and fly straight to Sydney. No, it's off course. Then it gets back on course. Then it gets off course. Then it corrects. Get off, corrects. Gets off course, gets back on course, and it does that all the way down there until it gets to the Harbour Bridge, or maybe a bit before then, the Central Coast, and then it knows where it's going, and then they get focused, more focused, the closer they get. So if you get off track, it doesn't mean you failed. The only failure is the failure to participate in the game of life. But it means there's a gap. When we failed, we only fail if we give up and we stay down and refuse to get up again. But what that means, there's a gap between where we are and where we want to be. So we have to change our behaviour. We have to change our habits. We've got to get unresourceful habits and routines out. We've got to part company with people who are not supporting us. We've got to learn to say no. So we've got to say no to other people and say yes to ourselves. And I don't mean being selfish or greedy. I mean in a highly resourceful way. You've got to love yourself, be there for yourself, and say no. Have boundaries. We've got to have. It's very important to have boundaries so you can say no when people ask you to do stuff. Because I know I was the biggest yes man in the world. People would ask me to do stuff, and because I wouldn't even have a plan, I would say yes, because then they would love me and they wouldn't abandon me, and I'd be a friend. I'd still have some friends. But whenever I did that, I'm only really aware of it now, but whenever you do that, and whenever I did it, I was selling myself out. I was being someone I shouldn't have even been. I was teaching people how to walk over me. So get back on track. The only failure is the failure to participate. Learn to say no to most things and yes to what's important to you. So the other thing, one last thing I will say before I actually finish this is women can multitask. Absolutely they can. And men, not so much. I have seen some really fantastic musicians that were multitasking off the planet. Absolutely, like a one-man band doing 7 things at once. Like, that's quite incredible. I have seen that quite a bit, mainly with musicians, but multitasking for me does not work. It doesn't work. So, when I was growing up, my father wanted me to multitask, and I tried it, but that's why my attention's scattered. It's all over the place. I don't get anything done when I'm like that. So the biggest things for me to be able to direct my focus is to say no, learn to say no, and the other one is to single task, just all my focus, all my awareness on what I'm doing. Start, maintain and finish. Don't, no good having 50 windows open on your computer. I've certainly been, I don't know whether I've had 50, but I've certainly had a lot. And yeah, you got to close those windows down, all those distractions that are coming at you. You got to say no, not me, not now. I'd love to, but I can't now because what I'm doing here is really important to me. So maybe next time. So look, the rule of one. Focus on one magnificent goal, whatever it is, at a time. One at a time. Get your most important to you, where you want to be, the thing that is going to have the most impact on your life, and focus on that. Everything else is secondary to that. That is what you're working on. That's where most of your focus goes. You do have to go and do other things, but your number one focus is on this number one most important, how they say I forget what they say, big important goal. They say something else which is pretty ridiculous, I think. But the rule of one, it's very simple. And the other thing is to keep your life as simple as you can, one resolution at a time, and keep it as simple as you can, because the more simple that you make it, the more chance, the easier it is for you to achieve that goal. Keep it simple, man alive. I just love that. And focus, all your awareness is on that. And just imagine how your life will change when that is the case for you. So look, that's about it for today, and I would like to thank you so much for coming along. Thank you very much for being part of this the Power of Focus workshop. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. I want to acknowledge you for engaging so much and being so committed to your learning and personal development. The fact that you are that you are here and you are learning, like that is really, really important. And I've been thinking about what else can I give you to enable you to continue with this. You know, I've had other people talking to me, asking me through the week what else they can do. And so, look, what I've decided to do, I've opened up some spaces in my diary, and what I'm going to offer you now, like, because people have been saying how pertinent this is, how important it is to them, how they're digging this message of focus, and it's just really relevant to them. And they want to be able to take this to a whole new level. So as I said, what I've done, I've made space in my calendar for next week. And look, I'm a personal coach for the Your Success program. I normally work with clients one-on-one, and a session with me is usually $125. But I've made space in my calendar for the next week for 5 people to have free Ultimate Focus Strategy sessions. That's an opportunity for us to connect and develop more focus in our lives. And that can be applied to business, personal, or relationships. Now, if you resonate with that, and you know who you are if it does, it's not for everyone, but you know who you are if it does resonate for you, then I want to offer you my gift of a free Ultimate Focus Strategy session. And so all you have to do to accept that is you just go on Facebook, click on my name, give me a private message, click on my name, click on the message and just say, hey, I'd like to accept your gift. And I'll message you and I'll give you a call and we'll get to know each other in more detail. And then we're going to hang out and have an amazing time in this Ultimate Focus Strategy session. So thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to hanging out with you when we take it up a notch, so we can become the very best versions of who we want to be, so we can reach our full potential and love our lives. So I'd like to say thank you so much. Just focus, know what you want, why you want it, where you want to go, why you want to go there, what it's going to give you when you get there, how you're going to feel, what are you going to be seeing, what are you going to be hearing, and what are you going to be feeling, what are you going to be saying to yourself when you get to where you want to go, when you reach your goals, when you arrive at your destination. There is no final destination, but as far as achieving a goal, as far as setting your intention and actually getting there, doing it, mastering that area of your life. So I would like to say thank you so much. I was rushing a little bit, I will admit, but I'm so glad to have this opportunity to talk to you, and I can't wait to hear from you, and we'll get this show cracking and get even more focus. Take it up another level so you can take your life to another level. If you got value out of this, I'd love you to share it with a friend. You can like me on Facebook, or you can love me on Facebook even. You can email me at robcummins0@gmail.com. You can call or text me 0419 436 859. That's 0419 436 859. And look, if you've got any suggestions, questions, just fire them at me. And thank you so much. And best of luck to you. Stay focused, get focused. What you focus on expands. What you focus on, you get to the exclusion of everything else. So focus, focus, focus. No hocus pocus. Only out of hours. Thank you.